Welcome everyone. This is Fashion Arts and Media, and today I have a multi-award winning fashion designer all the way from the Philippines. Welcome. Tell us all about yourself. Tell us so much so that we know who you are.
Okay, good day to everyone. My name is Chris Egne, known me in the fashion industry, but my real name is Christopher Egne. So I feel comfortable to call me Chris, Chris Egne. And also I have my brand name is Tegni. That's my brand name of my clothing line. And I'm so happy. And thank you so much, Mrs. Cutler, for inviting me today.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure actually to have you here on Fashion Art Media. So thank you too.
Always welcome.
Thank you. Now, tell us, how long have you been doing fashion design?
Well, I'll give you a brief background of my history. Okay,
right.
It's quite. I will shorten the history.
Right.
I started doing fashion designing of my two grandmother trained me when I was 9 years old. Instead of little kids playing some toys, that during the time I didn't experience how to play a toy. So my toy was scissor, needle, and sewing machine. That's the time is the old traditional way of sewing machine.
Right.
And my grandma is taught me about the detail, about the couture. And then I'm blown away during that time because I don't know what it's all about. But she prepared me about the things in my future because my grandmother she is a fashion designer and visionary. So my other grandmother was a master cutter, and she taught me how about the detailing, about the cutting, the pattern cutting.
Wow.
So on the college days, I enrolled right away in fine art. Now, major in interior design, but still in my passion is in fashion.
Right.
I started doing fashion designing as a profession way back on the age of early age of 19 when I was in college days. That's my extra job when I was studying fine art.
Oh wow. Amazing. So you've been, I'm just, I'm just checking with the fact that both your grandmothers were fashion designers. One teaches you how to cut patterns, and the other one also teaches you all the other things. This is really great. So from the age of 9, you've been exposed to fashion design. Your family must be very fashionable.
Yes, and also my auntie or aunt and are fond of clothes. So way back in the history in my province, which is my province is Negros Occidental, where I grew up. We're not fond of buying some ready to wear. We are customized. Everything is customized. So I inspired of them and also my great grandmother as well.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really great. So tell us, have you always been a fashion designer, or did you stop for a while, go do something else and then come back to fashion design? Because I've seen most of the fashion designers, there's a period when they say, oh, I don't want to do this, but they quickly go back. Is that in your case?
Okay, in my case, I was a 9, I trained, and then I studied in college in fine arts and major interior design, which is that during that time that the university offers only the course of fashion designing as a subject in fine arts.
Right.
So I took that course in interior design, and then I didn't take a board exam in interior design. It's because I go back to my passion, which is fashion designing.
Right.
And I flew back after graduation. I flew in Manila, which is the capital city of Philippines.
Yes.
I worked as a assistant fashion designer of different well-known designers here in the Philippines.
Right.
And through that experience, I trained. I learned a lot about additional skills and talents that I I used to do it in this present time.
Right. Wow, amazing. So it's great that you were working as assistant designer. How long did you do that?
I worked on several well-known designers in the Philippines. One is I worked in for 2 years, and the other one I worked in 3 years, and the other one is 1.5 years. The 1.5 years I worked there as a not an assistant, as a in-house artist. They call in-house artist.
Oh, wow.
Supposedly hired a fashion designer in the men's formal wear. But the
Wow.
owner knew that they I'm capable of doing extra art like flower arranging and doing some event styling. So they called me in-house artist. So I worked there as a uh, fashion designer slash artist.
Wow, that's great. That's really great. One thing I would like to learn is flower arrangement. I think it's just beautiful. The fact that you can do it, that's also great.
Yes, flower arranging is one of my passion, which is the second
Right.
passion. First is the fashion designing, second is flower arranging, and the third is painting on
Right.
canvas. I do also murals.
Wow.
Which of my passions, the flower arrangement and painting that I use as inspiration in my craft in fashion field. Also,
Wow.
I do some hand painting designs in my fabric in my past collection.
Wow. Sounds really great. So not only are you an artist, you are not only are you a fashion designer, you are an artist, and I could say flower arranging is part of art as well. So you are multi-talented.
Yes, that's what my clients and my two designers told me, that I'm a multi-talented artist or designer. And
yes, you are.
I have also an experience in working international. So I passed as the International Florist. I work is on board in the cruise ship that I talked about it last time in chat.
Please tell us about that. It's so exciting.
Yes. That during that time I never thought that I working on the cruise ship. They called other is cruise ship, but the reality is a huge mega yacht, which is the floating condominium. That the work experience there is worthwhile. And also that the big opportunities that more enhance my 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 skills in designing and fashion. Why? Because that ship, like the mega yacht, is traveling around the world. So the main purpose of traveling is to see the owner of the apartment. We call apartment in each unit here in the condo, floating condo. And I told myself not to board. I do every time I went in other country, I researched, I interviewed some locals about their cultures and knowledge. That's that's 3 years and a half of experience working on board. It's a great experience that widened my knowledge in terms of fashion designing and different cultures every nation.
Right.
And I worked there as international florist, and I passed it. I passed in the qualification as international florist, and it's very tough. You need to have a more patience to work with that bullshit is because each of the residents in the apartment have a different specification, different types of flowers they want. It's because of the other residents have a allergies in rose, allergies in different flowers. So you need to memorize
I
everything
don't
there.
know if. We got lost there for a bit. I think it's my internet because it's been raining a lot. So the connection is not quite great. Could you repeat
Yes.
what you were telling us before? Because yes, we've had, but maybe I was just a bit digressing from the fact that I was frozen. So if you can tell us about working in the cruise ship.
Okay. Sorry for our internet is not quite the signal. What I would like to share is about working in the cruise ship during the time is widen my knowledge in terms of designing. It's because that cruise ship is traveling around the world.
Yes.
So instead of I board, I do my off time. I went
Right.
to other local in every nationality that I interviewed about their styles and fashion, their cultures.
Wow.
So that 3 years and a half experience working as a cruise ship is connected with my passion that I my that was my passion. It's because widen my knowledge, skills, and knowing about the trends and cultures in every nation.
That's right.
So yeah, I really very tough working on the cruise ship as a florist. It's because not only as a florist, but we need to pass the license about it as a florist international. So I passed and I recognized as international florist. And one thing that I would like to share that experience, that is my dream to see Eiffel Tower is dream come true. And also the Scotland, the,
Edinburgh.
the light, the northern light.
Yes,
Yeah,
of course. Of course. I'm going to take you back to where we started, but we'll just continue with that. First of all, you talked about flower arrangement in the cruise ship. Does this mean that every day you have to change the flowers, or how does that work? Because this is quite interesting.
Okay. During this time, the flowers and the plants on board is real. So ahead of time, or ahead a month, I mean, a month before I entering the other country, I ordered ahead of time what types of flowers, what types of plants. So changing the flowers be very delicate is because you need to double check um, every day
Right.
that the flowers and the plants is still okay. It's because the ship is congested, so you need to careful about no mold on board. So
Yes, of course.
So twice a week changing the flowers. So twice a week. So
Once
not
a
every
week.
day.
So how many months did you stay in the cruise ship before you dock in some country?
First contract working on the cruise ship is the minimum was 6 months, but I worked my contract, the other contract, I worked at 8 to 10 months. So supposedly it's only 6 months, but I
Wow.
extended to
So
8 months.
you carry, you must then be able to carry very many flowers in the cruise ship to be able to change every week.
Yes, we have a flower shop on board and huge walk-in freight for flowers and plants.
Wow, that's something new. I couldn't have thought about that. So thank you so much for telling us about that. It's very interesting. So you have the flowers in the freezer, and when you want them, you put them in the flower shop, and then take them to the rooms.
Yes, they ordered me about the ordering the flowers, and then I bring it to their room. And sometimes they're suggested for their fine dine dinner event. So I do flower arrangement on their apartment.
Wow, awesome! That's really great. How big was the cruise ship that you worked in? Well, you worked in so many, but which one was the biggest?
That one is only one cruise ship that I worked. The
Okay.
mega, yeah, so the mega yacht. The name of the ship was the World.
Wow, okay. Amazing, amazing. I am so interested in such things, you cannot believe it. So it's really nice to talk about them. Now, going to every country and talking to the locals about their fashion sense and all that. So did you have to write down or take photos of what you'd seen, or you just kept it in your mind until you got back home?
Actually, I have a note. I have a cute notebook that's easy to in my jacket.
Right.
I write down, but most of the time I pay attention to hear their stories, hear their cultures, and also that was amazed that they are very friendly to share what their culture, their knowledge, and also
Yes.
asking me what is the Philippines, and the other one already Philippines. And one thing is about the culture is interesting. I really love the fabric, their local fabric that
Oh,
I keep on my mind that when I stay in the Philippines for good, that I would like to promote our local fabric, the indigenous fabric here in the Philippines as well. So right now, so aside from a fashion designer, I'm promoting local fabric here in the Philippines, and also a health advocate. Yeah. Health is very important as well.
yes,
As
of
most of
course.
the time, um, in the Philippines, well-known designers, some are gone already is because of their health problems.
Yes.
So that's my advocacy is to take care of our health and promoting to every time fit in our health. Because our
Yes,
health
of
is very
course. Health is so important, especially nowadays with the pandemic. We need to sleep well, eat well, balance everything in order to be working perfectly. So that is really great. Now, we'll just go again back to something that you just said recently. So I'm sorry, this question is a bit bad. How many weeks or days did you dock in one place in order to talk to the locals? Do you stay for a week, 2 weeks, a month before you move on?
okay. Every going to our itinerary in every each country. Each country we stay is three days. Some is 2 days. Some is 6 weeks. 6 weeks is the most longer. The short end was 1 day.
Oh, wow. Okay. So with 1 day, you really want to meet so many locals to discuss the fashion then?
Yes, just a quick on outside the port,
Right,
asking from the shop and asking about their culture as well.
right. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds really good. So tell us a bit about Philippines, how do you call it? Materials, fabric. Both names work.
Okay. Here in the Philippines, there are a lot of huge fabric from Italy, from all over other countries, China, from other countries as well. But here in the Philippines, we have a local fabric that is very nice and hand woven fabric that
Right,
I wanted to share in the universe, that also we have a different and many choices of local fabrics in the Philippines.
right,
So if I have a client, both local and international, I offer the fabric, especially the piña silk. The piña silk fabric is very beautiful. It's from the piña leaf. Yeah, I offer it for their wedding as well.
right.
So they are loved as well.
So that's, you said that's silk, right?
Yeah, that's silk.
And it's hand woven.
It's a hand woven.
Wow, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. So now tell us, do you get a lot of clients from other countries to buy your, what you make, or do you just sell in the Philippines?
Uh, I have some few clients international. This is my dream into 2020 to have more clients international. A few clients international, and then some are beauty queens, some are Filipinos in abroad, and other is local, international.
Right,
And I have also clients here in the Philippines, both celebrities and well-known people as well, and also accept clients for to experience my design and clothes for the people that we wanted to experience my design.
right,
So people are welcome. So my price was very friendly to them.
right. Now tell us, what actually do you design? Do you design women's wear? Do you design children's wear? Do you design men's wear, or do you design everything? And if so, for what occasion?
um, my brand is Tegni Designs. My brand is Tegni. So it offers of more on formal wears
Oh,
for men and women and kids for their special occasion.
that's wonderful. So yes, of course, you did say that you also make something for the weddings.
Yes.
Oh,
Tegni started in bridal gown, suit for men, and also barong for the men that's using piña cells. So
right,
I definitely started in fashion in bridal, by wedding
right.
gown.
Tell us, which one of these, kids wear, women's wear, or men's wear, which one do you really, really enjoy working on?
I really enjoy designing bridal because
Oh, same as I.
I want um, to be part of their special, memorable moment.
Yes.
So every time I feel excited to do it, to design for it. So every time I have a client, I just discourage to them to bring some magazines or some photos that, to
Yes.
copy. So I told them, clients, that never bring any. So on the spot, on the client, I do sketching on the spot with
Yes.
three choices. Before doing design sketching on in front of them, I already spoke to them, interviewed, so that I know their personality
Yes.
and their needs and motives. So every time I have my mind about their wants and needs and they about the personality. So I started to sketching three designs to them. Sometimes the clients, I mean, confusing, which I love three, I love two. Sometimes I have like experience that two wedding designs that they love. So I suggest one on the church and the other one in the reception. And
Right. Right. I can agree with you when you make these dresses for the brides, especially because brides really want the day to be extra special. You get such a great connection, because I also make wedding dresses. I used to sell wedding dresses. I still do, but I'm trying not to because I have other things doing. But I agree with you 100% because you have such a great connection trying to make a dress for a bride and make it to the best so that they really, really enjoy wearing it on their special day. That is such a great thing, really. It's just so great. Now, do the guys also, do you feel connected with the guys when you make their suits, or it's just guys? Because they really probably couldn't be bothered.
and also I'm looking from the groom for the men for their
Yes.
suit.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an experience, nice experience that I only have a client for doing wedding gown, but her husband to be is would love my design. So instead of wedding gown project and also doing the men suit for the groom during that time. So I designed on the spot and sketching about the peak in his personality as well. And also,
Yes.
integrity is catered not only for aesthetic, but I'm concerning about the comfort of the client that fits in their body structure.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. Agreed. Awesome. Amazing. So now tell us, what about kids wear? What kind of kids wear do you make? Is it streetwear or maybe occasional wear, like maybe, sort of formal wear for the children?
For the children is more on their special birthday. This year, most of the time on the 7th-year-old birthday, they are just like a small Cebu type. So they're celebrating a birthday for a kid 7 years old, and also occasions for the what do you call this one graduation during
Right.
that time. Made to order clothes for the daughter or the kids as well, and also the GS prom for the seniors,
Yes.
and also I designed for babies for
Oh,
christening.
yes, of course. I can tell you one thing, creating a baby's dress is so difficult, at least for me. So, oh, Oh, I'll never get it right. I've tried so many times, I just got it wrong. So really, congratulations on being able to do that. And most parents, especially here in Scotland, the Christian parents, when they take their children to church for christening, they want the dress to be immaculate. They don't really know how difficult it is to cut for that small person, do they? So,
Yes. And also for the christening baby that I made for their daughter, one of my clients, they wanted to look a princess. So I suggest to her not to be fully beaded because it's difficult for the kids. But the mother that insisted that I want my baby fully beaded down, oversized. Oh my God. So I make way. I make way that the baby feel comfortable. So I do lining as a stretchable cotton for the babies, and the upper layer like in front only, the fully beaded. So
yes.
my client was so amazed and happy as well.
Oh, that's really nice. I will never, I just give respect to anyone who can make babies' dresses, because that is so difficult. No one has an idea unless you are making that dress. And in my opinion, they should probably cost much more than other dresses, because it's difficult to cut them in the first place. It's difficult to put them together, you know. It's just, anyway, that is also great. Congratulations for that. So now tell us, if anyone wanted to become a fashion designer or an artist, or be able to have the art of arranging flowers, please tell us these three aspects. How can one go to them? How can one do them?
Um, the one that I suggest to them is number one, don't be afraid of what you are loved. So if you're doing an art or singing or fashion or painting, don't mind of others, don't mind of others pull you down. Just go on of what you feel in your heart that you love to do it. What you need is your passion.
Yes.
So pray. And second is open to the critic. For me, I love critics. It's because critics make me more improved and more refine my artwork, my creation. So they're welcome about the critic as a accept as a positive vibe. So third, what third I advise to them is explore, not focusing in one fabric, on one material, on one subject, that explore about things that way doing it. So creating, for example, in fashion designing, don't focus on the availability of the fabric. So they need to explore, manipulate the fabric using different textures. Don't be afraid to explore. And the last thing that I advise to them is don't forget to thank God, because our talent skills is from Him. So
Absolutely.
our talents to Him. So though they're to thank all the time.
Absolutely. See, what I believe, God has sent angels to the world and has allocated the angels to help us in everything. For instance, I believe that Angel Jophiel helps the creatives through God, obviously. So when we thank God and when we appreciate God and when we want God to help us, He's sending His angels to come and help us to be more creative. For me, I just completely agree again with what you're saying, because everything has to be done by God's will. Thank you for that. That's really great. So now tell us, you are an award winner in Fashion Art Media Awards. How did this happen?
Okay. Actually, I never expect to be about this award. Number one, I never thought that some people are nominate me to be nominated. So I never thought that I nominate and award winning. But I came into my mind that I know already I have an award, that this is a purpose. There is a purpose why people nominate. Is because this is a great platform to share not only the Philippines but the whole world, to share the people in my field in fashion, not only in fashion designing, that I need to point out to each of fashion designers in the whole world that we do lots of things, creative creation, rush hours, and few sleeping hours to finish the piece and artwork. But this is the great platform that on not only a fashion designing, but we need to take care of our health. Is because our health is very important. So if we take good care of our health, there's a lot of creations that we make and a lot of people who inspire us. I think
That's
I thinking about my edge why I chose our
right.
nomination.
Right. Can I just say, I was in sort of in the panel. Well, somebody in the office manages all the, all the, how do you call them? The word, it's just gone. Everyone who is all the nominations, right? And I happened to see your nominations. You had about 12 to 15 nominations. What this tells me is that people do love you, people do love your work, because you had so many nominations come in. And the people in the office had to pick and select, and they selected you. So if you were supposed to be selected 100 times, it could have been 12 times or 15 times, because that's how people actually like your work. So congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
So where do you sell from? You sell, you said you do made to measure, but do you have a particular studio, or do you go to, I've seen some fashion designers, especially bridal wear, who go to the people's houses and work from there. Where do you sell from?
I sell my product that I posted in my social media account, also my page, personal page, and also referral. That's the fastest thing that I get the client, that do a lot of referrals that my previous client.
Oh,
So
referrals, yes, of course.
I, supposedly last year I decided to have my first big uh, fashion house. Supposedly it's last year, but it's suddenly so sad about happened about the pandemic. I didn't open my shop, so I decided to go back in my house. So my atelier is my house. So I work as 24/7, but I have enough sleep to do with some creation.
Right.
So I have clients, I do personally go to their house. Some are going to my house, my atelier, to do some sketches and experiments.
That's great. My first ever shop was in my house because I made the dresses and sold them there. So I took one whole sitting room. It was just a shop, you know, and back then I used to live in Australia, and Australian houses are really big. So it was a shop indeed. And I had a door. They didn't have to come through my house. They had to pass through the back door to come to the shop. So I can understand working from home is great actually, especially if you have the space for that. And it's also cheaper because then you are not paying somebody rent and electricity and internet and all that. So yes.
Also, actually, my house is not quite big. It's cute. It's very cute. But I have a another skill that how can it fit my ball gown or gowns in my house garden. So sometimes I work outside my house with my folding tables to cut it, and some of my clients and food designers ask me, how can you create some elegant creation and the beadwork? You have a lot of skilled workers, or I I told them, no, I don't have any skills. It's only me to cut and sew beadwork, and also my partner. I I taught him how to do some beadwork, and he did it. So only
Wow.
me and my partner was doing for the
Right.
others.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. The fact that you can teach someone who is not a fashion designer to help you, it's great. And you have the weather for working outside. You can't work outside in Scotland. It's either too cold or snowing. You know Scotland. So you are very lucky that you have great weather for that. Maybe you
Yes,
can take a few photos and send to us when you are working outside so we can blast them everywhere, because this is something that you don't see here in Scotland.
yes. The weather there is very cold. So
Yes.
and the problem here in the Philippines is we have only two. We have a warm climate, the summer and the rain. But the difficulty is challenging when the time is the rainy season. So I need to split up to fit in my house about my
Mhm.
cat, about the gown. So I did it. So I do piece by piece.
Yes. Sounds great. Now, what's your favorite material you like to work on?
In terms of the bridal, I love doing doing embroidered. I love embroidered lace. Also the soft tool,
Yes.
and
Tulle
also
is good.
I love the different types of. No, it depends on the client.
Right.
So I love to work with the silky like the Zar and Carmouche, and also the Duchess fabric.
Right. So you don't really use a lot of satin, silk, lace. You use those.
Yes, I have a class for that in every. It's difficult during the time that this pandemic. Because afraid to go into the my supplier, so I do ordering online. So I do order by sometimes it's 20 yards, 30 yards to ship it with that. So every time I need to stock on my house about the fabric. So every time I have a client, it's easy. to grab on,
Right.
to make it fun. And I love also texturing the piece, and also contrasting.
Yes.
So one thing that I love is when I use embroidered lace, I contrast on the lining. It's more darker.
Right. Yes. Oh, that's really great. Making an amazing dress has to be, you know, different types of, especially a wedding dress. You're not only going to use, maybe you might use silk, you might use satin, and then use, you know, embroidered material from outside. So texturing and also contouring and all that is so important in making a great dress.
Yes, that's very important. And one thing that I started to work in one project, in one bridal gown, for example, I doing some taking pictures of what I'm doing about the fabric, the output.
Yes.
Sometimes I already done that creation, that bridal gown, but on the camera, on the video, it's not appealing. But on the eye, it looks appealing. So I need on the to be a photogenic or telegenic in the video. So
It's not about you. It's about everyone, honestly. You make something, if it's not on someone, it doesn't look good.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
But once someone wears it, that's where all the beauty comes, because if you are making it, no one is really going to appreciate until the, you know, the final step. And then the final step, if you, for instance, just carry that dress like that, nobody really sees what's happening there. But put it on a model and all the beauty comes out, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one factor that also that I really love to do it is because you make your client happy and proud of what your creation.
Exactly.
Yes. That's why when I see on the camera, on the video that I'm doing, it's not still appealing on the video, on the camera. So before it's finished, I change the lining, I change the design,
Right.
and weight change or added. So make
Right.
it that added as well.
Wow, amazing, amazing. You know, you are telling me things, taking me back to when I was doing active fashion design. It's always great to hear somebody else talking about the things that you've done. It's wonderful. Anyway, now tell us, if anyone wanted to buy your dresses, or if anyone wanted to talk to you regarding what we've discussed here today, where can they find you?
Okay. The fastest that they can reach me through my Facebook account, which is the Segme Seg. That's the fastest that I open my messenger and my Facebook 24/7. So if I sleep, I already open that I pop to message me. That's the fastest.
So do you have a website where we can come to?
Website, I'm still working about my website because I need to finish or to soon with my website as well. Instagram, I have my Instagram, so they can message me in Instagram, and also my mobile number.
Right. Okay. So nowadays, people are even selling from WhatsApp. People are having catalogs. People are having catalogs on WhatsApp. People are having catalogs on Facebook shops, Instagram shops. Really, I think that the idea of having a shop, you know, a shop in some place is going away quickly, because you can sell anything online nowadays, can't you?
Yes. So my my messenger, my Facebook account is my catalog. So I posted my signs, and one thing that I told of my clients, one thing that I different Segni from the others is because Segni is not repeating the creations in one client. So I promise each client that I'm not doing this design to the other client. So it's because each
Wow.
has a different personality. For
Yes.
example, Jennifer Lopez is not fit to the other person.
Yes. Yes.
It's because you're concerned about the body, about the personality. So I have experienced that a client that loves my design in the previous bride. But I told her I make a design that fits on your personality. That really
Wow.
seems to be you. So
Wow.
that's
Wow. Amazing. So, asking you a personal question. I just assumed before, but is your partner also a fashion designer?
Pardon? My
Your partner, is he a fashion designer?
no, he's not a fan.
So you've
I
just taught him how to how to bid with you, but he's not a fashion designer.
one thing before I forget, and also nice to share also to the people that the or the aspiring designers or not designers to become a fashion designer.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing also the most important is you have the eye for beauty and you have a taste. You can buy
Absolutely.
everything, but you cannot buy taste and style.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yes, my partner has an eye for beauty and a taste. So
Yes.
it's easy for him to absorb what I'm so teach him about the design, about the big work. And he's a fast learner.
That's nice. That's really nice.
That's our bonding time. Making
That,
some big pieces.
that's great. That's really great. So, do you have any last words that you might want to tell our viewers today?
Last word I think my last word as a fashion designer was this one I wanted to share that I never forget what my grandmother told me. Fashion designer is just like a science
That's true.
because each piece of a creation is very valuable. You cannot share this science if you not started to expose on the social media or the people. So you have to take care of your design. So that's the main designers, just like a scientist. And also
Wow.
one thing that I share, the very most important is um, someday you have a designer to become a more famous and more well known in the world. So one thing that we never to forget is to stay humble. Always stay humble. Put your feet on the ground, 2 feet on the ground. Stay humble. That's the most important.
Absolutely.
How great, how you very good in designing, but you're not humble is useless. That's the main that I shared. Was I'm still running my business as fashion designer because I always on my mind to stay humble, share the positivity to the people, and then and share and inspire to others. So I
Yes.
encourage people has a eye for beauty to love and do some fashion design.
Absolutely. I agree completely. I agree with you completely. And your grandmother was so wise. Comparing a fashion designer and scientist. I never had that, but it sort of makes sense.
And also, I remember that one of your posts that one of the best example is one of your posts in the social media about your design copies by doctors. So yeah, so that's the main important. Every time you have a new collection that's never on the social media or to come out, to keep on better to stay first.
Right. Wow. Thank you, truly. So it's been such a great time talking to you, and congratulations again for winning another award, and see you on 30th during the award ceremony.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lydia Kapler, for
Oh, we lost you there. We lost you. We lost you. We lost you. We lost you. Hi. I don't know if I can open this. Oh, great. You are paused. Sorry, your volume was not right. Okay. Yes, you are saying?
I'm saying is, yeah, thank you so much, and I'm so excited to meet you in person someday.
Yes, definitely. We have Aberdeen Fashion Week in April. I think that Mr. Benj Bello is attending. So I hope you can come too.
Yes,
we have Aberdeen Fashion Week in April.
And also for the end, I would like to thank Mr. Benj Bello and Mr. John Warnes, that they are two both are so amazing and so very humble.
Adorable. Yes.
And also, I would like to thank my FDLP, Fashion Designer League of the Philippines. That's my group.
Right.
I'm the president of that group. That a lot of young generation designers that we inspired and we accept members that we still develop their skills in terms of fashion designing. We encourage everyone to join to us. And also, I would like to thank so much my mother. Her birthday today, actually.
Oh my gosh! Happy birthday to her.
I will tell her. And also, I would like to thank my aunt. Both my aunt and my mother are also amazing. That guide me about in terms of my personality and my characteristics as well.
That's wonderful. Happy birthday to your mom. Amazing that we did this interview during her birthday. That way you will not forget it, because all the time you'll be remembering the interview you did during your mom's birthday. Yeah. Absolutely great. Okay, we'll wind up here and hope to have you again with us. And thank you so much for today. And viewers, thank you for watching. Bye for now, and bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.